Welcome to Kang's Stories from New York. Now, most tales from the world of Fantatopia are about emperors and empires and the fate of nations. This is not one of those. This is about surviving an ordinary day at the office. If your office is a clan of assassins, your alarm clock is a small paper bomb, and your coworkers are more or less required to try to murder you before breakfast. My name is Eijiro. I am, professionally, a target. Let me tell you about my morning. The end of the hour of the Tiger 5 in the morning, a time no reasonable person should be awake. Shadow Valley still slept under a darkness thicker than ink. Mist oozed from the rocks and pooled across the valley floor, and up on the cliff, the nest of the Kaga Clan hunched like a sleeping beast, a few vents glowing dull red from the flame pits below. To us, breakers of blades, that little ember glow is the only sunrise we're ever allowed. The name is Eijiro. Third year in the Kaga Clan, current rank, ordinary disciple. Translated generously, that means future pillar of the sect. Translated honestly, it means shadow walker who hasn't earned a code name and mostly fetches things. I run errands, I mop, and I peel myself off the floor to apply ointment after the seniors use me as a moving target for stealth assassination drills. And then the flame talisman in my chest pocket buzzed warm against my ribs. Ah, the morning practice talisman. Because this delightful little square of paper does not merely explode, it also preheats, like a tiny oven. On a schedule, the sect leader hands them out to cure us of the one disease no ninja survives, sleeping in. I sat up so fast I nearly knocked myself out on the ceiling. I sleep fully dressed blade and all, which saves precious seconds and also says something a little sad about my life. Out the door, hugging the wall, becoming one with the shadows, not to avoid waking anyone, no. To avoid Lord Onikazemaru. Yo. A cold hand landed on my shoulder. Where are you looking? Up here. He was hanging from the rafters, upside down. Arms folded like an enormous, extremely smug bat who had, clearly, been waiting a while. He floated to the floor without a sound. If I were an enemy just now, your throat would be gone, upside down, with my teeth. It's a little move called the reverse blood shadow strike. Impressive, right? Want to learn? No thank you, I said, at a full sprint. The practice ground was a rock terrace at the valley floor, ringed with torches because nothing ruins morning drills like accidentally stabbing a coworker in the dark. Dozens of us stood in rows, jabbing blunt blades at wooden dummies. Our instructor had been sentenced to 3 years of training recruits as punishment for a botched mission, and he shared that pain with us, generously, daily. Eijiro! 3 breaths late again. 20 laps, and your heart-stealing broken blade drills? Doubled. I ran. Obviously, on lap 5, I spotted Lady Kiruka, our intelligence chief, crouched on a boulder, cooing to a little black messenger pigeon. Tell the under-the-moon line the watchword for Kagamoon Castle this month is chilly moon, clear radiance. Changes on the 3rd. Tell him to sit tight. She tossed the pigeon into the fog, and it vanished. Then she noticed me staring and smiled. Warm. Sweet. The girl next door? If the girl next door had once lived undercover inside an enemy castle for 5 years without slipping once. As lovely as her smile is, the list of names she's quietly mailed to the graveyard is just as long. I found my own feat very interesting and ran faster. Back in line, thrust number 37, the air in a dark corner rippled a plum-purple flame, went whump and out staggered Entōji, the flame child. 14 years old, a certified genius assassin, currently drowning in ninja robes 3 sizes too big, coughing, eyes watering, cradling a charred puppet whose little arms still twitched. Flame dance phantom body. Failed again, he sighed, dropping the smoldering doll into a water barrel. Hiss. Then his face lit up. Who wants to help me test the Crimson Shadow Cord? Brand new knot. I want to see if it can catch a living neck within 10 steps. As one, everyone took a crisp step backward. I was, as always, half a step too slow. You it is, Lord Entōji. I really must go clean the sect leader's library, I lied, beautifully. The library does indeed need cleaning, said a deep voice directly behind me. We all hit one knee. Sect leader Kaga, dark red robes, no weapon, and yet the air around him felt like it was one bad mood away from bursting into flame. To Entōji, the flame dance is not about the size of the fire, but the quiet inside the twin poles of flame and breath. You are too hurried. Come to me this afternoon. Then to me, Eijiro. 3rd shelf. Kagamune Sword Scrolls. In order, by date. Yes, Sect Leader, I chirped, as my soul quietly left my body. When real sunlight finally crept over the ridge, morning practice ended breakfast. Praise the flame pits. The dining hall was a cave of long stone tables, and honestly, the food was fantastic. Assassination burns a lot of calories. In the corner, the seniors were whispering. Heard Lady Funka got back last night. The merchant, behind all those guards, cooked to a cinder by dawn. Doors and windows locked from the inside. Guards swore they never saw a thing. One life taken, no flame quenched. Textbook. Shh, she hates being talked about. And then the hall went dead silent. A figure in a red cloak stood in the doorway, hood pulled low, just the bottom of a face, sharp jaw, a faint scar at the mouth. Her eyes swept the room, and suddenly every single one of us discovered something deeply fascinating at the bottom of our porridge bowls. Funka, the sect leader's personal executioner. 3 years here, and I'd seen her exactly 3 times, each one like a red ghost, gone before you're even sure she was there. She took a bowl of porridge, picked an empty table, and ate quietly, alone, like a very tired traveler who just wanted 5 minutes of peace. Relatable, honestly. After breakfast, the library. The sect leader's fire lizard tried to ambush me, as is our tradition, and I bribed it, as is mine, with a scrap of raw meat. While sorting scrolls, I found records of the Kagamune. Their elegant long swords, their proud and dignified forms. They say the Kaga Clan was once one of them, before we were cast out and forced to trade the long blade for the short. Breakers of blades, they call us. Losers. Traitors. But looking from those fancy yellowed scrolls to my own plain, horribly sharp Shadowfire blade, I felt, to my surprise, absolutely none of the shame I was supposed to. Long blade, short blade, honorable, disgraced, who, honestly, cares? Here in Shadow Valley, I learned to keep myself alive in the dark and to find a door where there was only a wall. The seniors are brutal, but they cover for the recruits on real missions. Lord Onikazemaru is a walking nightmare, but he always takes the deadliest job himself. Entōji uses me as a lab rat and also quietly slipped me 2 rice balls the night I got sent to bed with no dinner. And Funka, they say she once threw away a flawless kill to save a recruit who was slowing her down. Maybe that's the Kaga Clan. We're not shining heroes. We work in the dark. And we fix things the short, direct way, no scabbard, no ceremony, just results. The afternoon was for cultivation. I sat by the flame pit, the heat of the earth rising up scorching against my skin, and ran the blazing flame hidden breath art, pulling all that heat inward, folding it into true chi, hunting for the balance between burning and quiet. Mostly, I found sweating. But some quiet, too. The sun went down, and the day's work was finally, mercifully over. I dragged my aching carcass back to my little room and face-planted onto the bed, exhausted and, weirdly, content. Outside, Shadow Valley filled up with night again, and across the far cliffs, quick black shapes flickered the nightwalkers, clocking in as I clocked out. Tomorrow will be exactly the same, I'm sure. Terrorized by Lord Onikazemaru, field-tested by Entōji, screamed at by the instructor, cleaning the library, bribing the lizard, and sneaking one quiet look at silent Lady Funka. And that's me. One day in the life of one very ordinary Kaga Clan disciple. No empires toppled, no legendary duels, just training, day after day, and a plain, real life inside this deeply strange little family we call the Kaga Clan. Although if Entōji could pick literally anyone else to bother tomorrow, that would be perfect. And as I drifted off, I dreamed I'd finally mastered the flame dance phantom body and split into a whole crowd of me. One to handle Lord Onikazemaru, one to entertain Entōji, one to feed the lizard while the real me stayed right here and slept and slept. Now that is a dream worth training for. And that, my friends, is a tale for another night.